What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Project Ozone 3 Kappa Mode. So guys, we are reaching the very end of the mod pack. Last episode, we cleaned up all the quests achievements, so that's all the way back here. So all the quest sections have been done to the Omega section. All the quests have now been complete. Yep, so we did that, which is really awesome. So the quests that we have left are simple achievements and the end. So in order for us to continue on, we need to start knocking out these quests. Now, I was kind of looking at these, and some of these are a little silly. I'm not sure if we're going to do all of them, or we're just going to say that we've done them. So, for instance, like All Night Lunar. Build lunar panels in a dimension that's always night and use dimensional transceivers or quantum entangled porters to transfer the power. Like, does that matter? I mean, we can do that. I guess we could do that. This one wants us to automate all trees that can be placed inside bonsai pots. Again, is that something that we need to do? I don't know. I mean, I guess we could do all of these. Chance cubes, open a stack of chance cubes and hope you don't die or your base doesn't get wrecked. Well, if we do this, this is going to be in some other dimension anyway, so we're not going to have to worry about that. The one quest that I did want to focus on, this is like the important one, is the creative chest. Everything else here, as far as I can tell, is just like silly little challenges. This is actually something that's not really a challenge, but pretty much the last thing in the pack to make that's going to be difficult, right? So creative chest is where we're going to go. And in order for us to make that, we have to do these we have to do these chaos planks. And the chaos planks we saw way earlier on in this series, they did require a whole bunch of these chaos ingots. And in fact, I think it's 14 chaos ingots in total that we need here. Not accounting everything else that goes into this, just the chaos ingots itself. That's going to be a little expensive. So chaos ingot, if we wanted to do 14 of those and we have to have 8 of those chaos planks, it's 112 total. Can we do it? And no, we can't. It almost looks like we can, but we can't. Not yet anyway. So we're going to need some more crystal matrices. Yeah, we're missing nearly 2,000 of those. I need to convert all of our singularities into ultimate singularities. Well, at least so we have 1,206 more of them. Well, what is that? That's going to be 1,232 total that we're going to need. I need to get a whole bunch of Supremium Essence blocks being spawned in. Some of these things we have on auto craft, but we're requesting so many right now, like it just says that we don't have enough. I think we have the auto craft set up, so like when we use 1 or 2, it just kind of like restocks. But now we're requesting more than what we even have in stock, so it says that we can't do that. But we have farms over there for onions and garlic. Like that is over here, if I remember correctly. Oh, yeah, so we got like mustard right here, beans, garlic. Yeah, so I can just sit here and right click this and grab these or whatever, just so we have enough so we can queue up the craft. Normally these things just restock after, you know, just using, you know, 1 or 2 or a stack or something like that. But since we're requesting so many right now, yeah, I didn't set this up so I didn't set this up so it thinks that we have infinite of it, but enough for what we were doing. But yeah, apparently that's not enough. But anyway, like I said, I can just sit here and right click these guys a little bit and get these so it'll be happy with that. So I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and grab all of the plants that we need for our chaos ingots so we can start queuing that up. Again, there's 112 of these that we needed. Let's take a look again. Like, how close are we on that stuff? Okay, so it's just, you know, a couple stacks, whatever. Yeah, so I'll also start spawning in some Gaia blocks and the Supremium Essence blocks. These are kind of important, and I guess crystal matrix. So I'll go get those starting to spawn in while I take care of this, and then we'll be back. Well, I got those blocks spawning in right now, and I'm going through the not so fun task of making what was it, 1,200 and some odd of these singularities. Yeah, so I'm putting them all into the ultimate crafting tables now. I was going through and doing coal into every single one, and then iron into every single one. And then I got thinking, you know, when I click on these, they lag sometimes and that kind of stuff. And it's just probably going to be simpler just to do one table at a time and just keep repeating like the same 18 or 36 singularities every single time. So that's what I'm doing right now, is we're filling these up manually. Now, we never did set up an auto craft for these specifically because, as I said before, it would be kind of weird to try and get these to be auto craftable the way the auto crafting in these tables work. So I'm not really sure how I would go about doing it. It definitely would be nicer to have these auto craftable, but as we've seen how long the auto crafting takes on these tables, trying to craft 1,000, 1,200 items, like, it's going to take forever. Anyway, I think it's probably going to be faster, if not more tedious doing it this way, but faster overall. And by the time I'm done doing this, I think all of the different blocks that we need spawned in should be pretty much good to go. Now, if we take a look in here, and if I do the chaos ingot one more time, we do 112 of those, we should see a good portion of all the ingredients that we need are ready to go. We're still waiting on some more of the Supremium Essence and then the Ultimate Singularities, but everything else seems like we are ready to rock and roll here. But yeah, this is going to be the longest and the most tedious part, so that's what I'm doing right now. Be right back, guys. Alright guys, so that's a lot of ultimate singularities that we are now going to be crafting. This should be a total of 20 stacks of these things that we're doing, which is slightly more than what we needed exactly. But you know what? If we have a little bit too many, that's fine, because we can then further put them into the creative chest when we eventually get to making that, right? And then we can duplicate these things. Now, I haven't really looked at the creative chest recipe beyond the fact that it required all these chaos ingots. So there might be like something in there that I don't know about that's probably going to make me craft more of these in the future anyway. But I think we should be pretty good here. Let me go ahead and chop away some of those and get rid of those things. All right, so now we should have everything in the system to be able to craft all of these chaos ingots. Let's give this a try. So if I do 112, we should have everything. And it looks like the system's happy. It's going to use 281,462 bytes, but yeah, it looks like we can do it. So let's go ahead and tell it to craft that many chaos ingots. That's ridiculous, the amount of stuff that we're doing here, but we need it. We need it. All right, so now that those are going in the background, we can move our attention to something else. So ultimate catalysts. I can't remember. Do we have autocraft for that ultimate catalyst? Yeah. Okay, so the total amount of ultimate catalysts we need is 8, and we already have 1. So if I tell the system to queue up 7 of those, are we good? We're good. So let's do that. Okay, so beyond the chaos. Oh, you know what? I guess I'm getting a little ahead of myself. We're still working on the chaos planks, aren't we? So yeah, we should probably focus our attention to making sure we have all of this stuff as opposed to like doing these other things. Okay, so birchwood is fine. Health shelf. So this requires potions of regeneration. This is probably something that we can animate. Is it worth animating that since we are only going to need, what, half a stack of these? Maybe not. Maybe it'd just be easier for us to craft all of these. We just need to get ourselves a bunch of the potion of regenerations. Okay, so that is easy enough. I'm looking at these crystal rune stones of darkness. So at least 2 of those per craft. And in order to make those, we need to get obscure crystal and the crystal rune stone. Obscure crystal is made with complex crystal plus obsidian. The complex crystal is made with simple crystals. Okay, so this is all pretty straightforward stuff. It's just a lot of tedium to do it, I suppose. Now, this does say it requires a wand of animation. Now, I don't know if this requires a completely brand new one, but we are going to have to make a new wand of animation. So that is something to keep in mind here. I'll go ahead and bookmark that. It also looks like it's going to be using each of these different creative items that we have used previously. And some of these I don't want to give up. So I'll probably be making new one of these things, which is fine. The creative generator, I'm not... Yeah, that requires chaos ingots. I'm fine with putting that into this recipe. Everlasting Guilty Mana Pool. Now, this requires chaos ingots as well. The thing is, though, like, if we put that into this recipe and we make the creative chest or the creative, oh, you know what? Never mind. I was thinking this was the creative chest recipe. So we're going to actually need, yeah, this is something I didn't take into consideration before. We are actually going to need 8 of these guilty pools and 4 or 8 of these creative generators, which require 4 of these chaos ingots each. I wonder, can you animate the creative generator? If we can do that, that would save us a whole bunch. I'm not sure if we can do that. Creative generator. And let's grab ourselves a mob imprisonment tool. I'm going to assume that we can't do that, but that would save us so many of those blocks. Let's give this a try here. And wand of animation. Shift, right click. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. So the amount of stuff that we're making right now is all fine and good, but we are actually going to need, it was 4 per one of these, so that is 32, and an additional 16. Yeah, so yeah, we're gonna need like 48 more chaos ingots. So if I told us to make 48 more of these, what does it tell me? Okay, so I am going to need 454 more singularities. Oh boy. Some other random stuff, that's fine. But I think we have everything else. So what I need to see is that every singularity that we have in our applied energistic system, we have at least 454 of them. So we don't. No, but we can. Go ahead and just sort by number of items. So the lowest amount one is the Dawnstone. Some of these we aren't, like all of these are being redone right now. Like all the EMC, mostly there. Like we're over halfway there for the amount more that we needed. I should have looked at this further when we set this all up and we've been waiting to do items that required the chaos stuff. Yeah, all of these are things that we've done before, and most of these were pretty easy if I remember correctly. So infinity ingots, we can spawn the creative fluid tank. Yeah, a lot of this stuff is just things. Okay, well, I tell you what, I'm going to take a look at this recipe, figure out what we should tackle next in order to make our 8 chaos planks, and then we'll be right back. Stairs set up. So when I log off, we're going to be making the singularities that we can't make from EMC. So that'll happen off camera. This recipe happen here. So I made a supremium coal. We take a look. We do have a recipe for that. So let's tell the system how to make. So there is an insanium coal. Okay. And then we are into another recipe. So we'll do that. Let's just go ahead and tell the system to do it then. We're just doing all sorts of crazy different craftings here. I'm not sure what is taking so long stored. It looks like we might have some kind of a jam over here, or maybe another recipe. Oh, we have crystal matrices in here. This is in the split. So why is this not splitting? Uses on the crystal matrice. So why isn't this working? Click this and click that. Redstone control disabled. Oh yeah, it is actually doing something. Okay, so it's refilling and it's doing it. So ultimate catalyst. I guess I can stop this recipe, grab 6 blocks of ultimate and 3 blocks of black iron, put it through here like we're doing with this. So black iron. Yeah. So we can do that. So put that through that. That'll make the ingots that we need for... Okay, well that kind of fixes that issue that we had here. Yeah, so we have the 16 blocks of insanium coal. Awesome. So that takes care of another thing here. I guess we should also take a look at how we're doing here. To be made. We are currently waiting on ultimate stews to be made and cosmic meatballs. And yeah, we've seen... I guess like the big thing is we're waiting for all these crystal... Okay. Yeah, again, we haven't really stress tested our system trying to do this much stuff at once, so bottlenecks like this are to be expected. All right, well, I think the next thing that I'll probably work on then is these. That seems like that'll be easy enough for us to do here. There's a few different ways of doing it, but I think probably just using the vanilla brew stand will be the easiest way. Some brew stands here, we're gonna need nether warts, so 11 of those. And of course, ghast tears, 11 of those as well. All right, so I'm not sure the best way of doing this, so I'm just going to do one into each one of these and just kind of move down the line like so. This is going to end up making, but yeah, we'll end up making 33 of these things, which, you know, have an extra one. I guess that's fine. And then blaze powder that we need. I don't think there was anything else too tricky about this, was there? Let's take one more look at oak bookshelf, blaze rod, and nether bricks. And all of these things are EMCable. Yeah, it was just the regeneration that was not EMCable. So once all of these finish up brewing, we should be able to make ourselves those hell shelves. So I've been watching the auto crafting of our chaos ingots that we got going back here, and I noticed that a lot of these extreme crafting recipes broke. Yeah, so the chest was filling up full of all sorts of items in order to go into here. So like, for instance, we'd have a bunch of chicken dinners, and then this would be full, we'd be missing some neutronium, but it's still trying to put in chicken dinner into here, so the recipe just straight breaks. Yeah, so a simple solution to that is by pressing this button right here, the blocking mode. This makes it so it will only put in one recipe at a time into this chest, and then as soon as that entire recipe gets extracted, say there's room for everything in our ultimate crafting table, then it puts the next one in. So we never end up with that problem. So you can see it's like putting in the full recipe, waiting for that to get extracted, and then the next recipe appears. So I've done that pretty much for every single one of these. So we have the same problem here with whatever these things are. I can't remember what these are called. The Endless Pearl, I think that's what it is. Yeah, so those are backed up and not working. Our cosmic meatballs were broken. Yeah, so pretty much I put the blocking mode on every one of these things so it can continue to craft and do what it needs to do. This has a creative essence that isn't going in there. I'm not sure what's going on with that. Oh, you know what? I think it's just waiting on other stuff, right? Fitting, crafting. So what's not going into this? I'm not sure. We're not providing. Oh, yeah. So we're providing the things from downstairs that should be going into this. Let me put that creative essence back in there. Okay, so this recipe stopped because we're missing whatever these items are. And I'm not actually sure. So this is the Chaos Catalyst. Let's take a look at this real quick. So that recipe, okay, so that is the body stone, the soul stone, the mind stone, and the life stone. So this is another problem that we ran into. I went ahead and I started gathering all the materials that we have together to start making these chaos planks. And like everything was relatively simple. We made our hell shelves and I got those in there, and some oakwood planks and stellar capacitors, enticing crystals, green slime. Not a big deal. But then I got to these right here, the final star shard. Each one of those is 3.38 petabytes, I think is what that is, or peta EMC, whatever. That is a lot of EMC, guys. And this is only enough for 4, right? So each one of these requires 2 of these final star shards. Now, a while ago, I had stopped generating EMC because I said we had too much. I did not realize that we were going to need 8 of these, the final star shard. Yeah, so I'm assuming what's going on now is we don't have enough EMC to craft these items over here that's needed for this stuff. Although it said, hold on a second, this says that we have how much? 6.07 trillion. And that is still going down. So why it isn't crafting these guys when these are 1 million each? I'm not actually sure what's going on with that. That is kind of a problem. Something to wonder about. How many more of the Chaos Catalysts do we need that it has not crafted? Oh, you know, just about 1,100 more. No big deal. I am wondering why it is not crafting those. That's something that I do need to go take a look at. So let's poke down here real quick. So this is platinum, this is soul stone. It says we have 32 soul stones in there. If I do a shift right click, we can see the soul stone. So why that hasn't been... Whoa, let me up here. Okay, I think we're fighting... Yeah, I think those need to be put into here, but we're kind of fighting this a little bit. Maybe... Since these items don't stack, maybe those items should be part of this recipe here. We do have the ability of putting them into this recipe, and that way we won't have to worry about those trying to fight for an inventory slot. I think that's probably what we have to do to solve this. So I need to remove this. We should come down here and turn off these. Just remove these completely from this. Okay, so we get rid of the soul stone, the mind stone. I think there was one more here, right? The body stone. Just get rid of these. And then there is one final one over here, the life stone. So all of those items, those are now going to be a part of the recipe that we're going to put in. All right, so let's go do that. Yeah, I really think that's going to solve this problem here. So if we search for stone, we need one of each of these. And this recipe goes here. And we'll just add each one of these into this. All right, and I guess what I should do is delete the chest that we have down below, the storage container for each one of these. Which one? This one? Okay, if I put this back into here, and then I come downstairs, and then I delete these, because we don't want these as part of the network either. I gotta take some time here and put all of those away. All right, well, let me fix this real quick and see if what we're doing here will actually solve this. I feel like it will, but yeah, let me just do that real quick. All right, well, with that change, it seems like everything was working correctly, and then we just ran out of this item, whatever this is above the iron mesh. We ran out of zircaloy. Oh boy. So there's still a lot more stuff that we need to do here. So if I take a look at the zircaloy, it said that we had enough when I told it to craft this, but I guess that's being put into the system in a different way. I don't know why we aren't crafting that. That would be one of our... It would be this thing down here telling it to craft, but it's not doing that for some reason. That's magnesium diboride. This is the zircaloy. Yeah, we have none in the system, so I don't know why this isn't saying to craft. Maybe we just can't craft it? Let's try crafting zircaloy, and I think it's trying to do 16 at a time. And if I do that, we're out of zirconium dust. Aha. Okay, so zirconium dust. We get that by taking zirconium and doing that. We can also get it through the rock crusher with diorite. I don't remember how we have this set up. So zirconium dust, we don't even have that on auto craft at all. Interesting. So we have zirconium block, and zirconium ingots can turn into zirconium dust, right? So I guess what we need to do, since we should have a way to craft the ingots, we just need to tell the system to take those ingots and pulverize those into the dust. I think that'll solve the problem. All right, so if we do this, and we do one of these, and I guess that recipe is good enough, and we just put that into a pulverizer or something. I'm sure we got room in a pulverizer, right? Might need to do one of the back other ones. Let's do pulverizer. If I put that in there, then it should start crafting those up, I would imagine, right? Yeah, so there we go. Now it's automatically crafting up the zircaloys. And if we come back over here, this should be continuing on doing stuff, I would imagine. Maybe we gotta wait. Maybe it did enough there for those zircaloys to go through. What is happening here? So we have a creative essence, an infinity catalyst. Okay. Yeah. So the way this is set up, let's turn this off and let's remove this. The way this is set up, if we're trying to fill in part of the recipe and it's trying to fill in all these other slots, then we kind of run into an issue. So it almost feels like we should have two different inputs for this. Two different automation interfaces. If only this thing, if only this could have more than one slot so it could pull from this side and that side. Yeah, I'm not really sure what else to do about this other than just kind of babysit it to make sure enough stuff is in here. It's like we could do a stack at a time and that's about our limit. And then we got to wait for everything to refill. Otherwise, we end up with these blockages. Yeah, that's a little unfortunate. Well, at least we know what the problem is, and it seems like we can get things going, but we just got to wait for everything to refill again before we turn it back on. And then we should get our Zircaloy in here as well here in a moment. Okay, well, I'm going to babysit this even further, and hopefully we'll get enough of this stuff going. Okay, guys, so I've given it a little bit more thought. And the way that we were auto-crafting, while it seemed logical, it really isn't the way we should be doing that. So the biggest problem is the automation interface doesn't know if it should take items from the interface that we're providing, or I guess in this case, the items that go into the oak chest, they get pushed into the interface, or if it should grab items from here, right? And if it's trying to grab items from here and our translocator is pushing items in, then that can't work. So the way that I have decided that we're going to solve that is by adding the crafting items as part of our drawer recipe down here, right? So I added in the missing drawers that we had for the Infinity Catalyst, the Fading Matter, and the Creative Essence, which is back here. That's Creative Essence 1. So we have spots for those different items. So I went ahead and I changed our Chaos Catalyst pattern back to the way it was before without the body, mind, soul stones in there. So it's just the Infinity Catalyst, the Fading Matter, and the Creative Essence are what does this. So if I put that in here, this should now start filling up these different drawers with the recipes, because it's going to be pushing those recipes into this drawer controller, at least theoretically. Now, the thing is, it's still trying to do the previous recipe because I haven't like canceled this or anything. But I should do that. So we still trying to make 104 more of these chaos ingots. So let's stop that. We'll let everything finish up that it's doing. And if I do chaos ingots again, and we want to make 104 of these, it should now start pushing the items into these different drawers down here, which I think will be correct. So I'm going to start that up. Yeah, so now we're getting Infinity Catalyst, we're getting our Fading Matter, and if we come up here, it should all be put in through our Phantom Face, and we should no longer have any recipes that are being screwed up. At least that's the theory, but I'm not seeing items being put into here. Now, I'm not sure why. It looks like we're still missing these different stones. Is there something blocking? There's nothing here blocking. So why is this not putting the items in? I don't know. So this is just a previous recipe from something else. So I can go ahead and put those away. Nothing here, and it is still not grabbing these items. That is really interesting to me. So this is from the north. Auto insert from north, right here. Is the Phantom Face says it's connected. Yeah, I don't know why it's not grabbing those items, because those stones are definitely there. There's so much more to this that we're going to have to figure out. Yeah, so we have Life Stone, Mind Stone, Body Stone, and then over here we have our Soul Stone. So we have all the different stones. Why it's not grabbing it from the drawer controller, I don't know. It might be that I need to like break and replace something, or yeah, maybe because I added in new drawers and stuff, this thing doesn't know what to do anymore. That's definitely a possibility. I can break and replace this and see if that does something for it. So let's give that a try. This is just a random thing. So Phantom, we need to grab the Phantom connector. And then we do a shift right click on the controller. And then we got to do a shift right click upstairs on the Phantom Face. Is that working now? I'm still not seeing any items being pulled into here, which is a little concerning. I'm not entirely sure why. Can I view the recipe? So soul stone, body stone. Yeah, all of those items are available, so I'm not sure why those aren't being picked up. It did seem like it's picking up the infinity catalyst and stuff, right? If I grab this, it's grabbing those. So why is it not doing these guys? It seemed like that was working before, and now it's not. I'm not entirely sure why. Well, I'm going to go ahead and end the episode here, guys. Unfortunately, we're not quite where we need to be. I was hoping we'd be able to start knocking out all of this stuff today, but yeah, we are running out of time. We're running into crafting issues, and yeah, we're trying to figure this out for sure. But anyway, that's going to do it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to leave a like on this episode if you liked it, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.